Namaste, angels. This is going to be the weekly love reading for the period of tomorrow, Sunday, November 11th, which is Armistice Day, Remembrance Day, Veterans Day. And, well, it's not 11/11. Actually, yesterday was. 11/9 was 11/11, according to the date numerology. Tomorrow's date equals 6 equals love. Plenty of 6 comes up in the general reading. So that means plenty of love comes up in the general reading. 6 also associated with Venus, and Venus goes direct this week. The same day that Venus goes direct, the 16th of November, Mercury goes retrograde a little while later. Something else was going on in the celestial system this week, I think. Those two things. Oh, Mars enters Pisces. Mars leaving Aquarius, going into Pisces. So that too should be exciting. I talk about all those things in the general reading. Do watch it and find out what they're about if you haven't already. I appreciate it. All right, so going right into this one, beginning with cocktail. Sex. I have yes staring me in the face, but it's otherwise on try again. Spirit says dirty movie, and there should be a lot of communication this week. There's a lot of air sign activity, and our rulers are having a lot of activity. So Venus is a ruler of 2 air signs, both Libra and Gemini, and Mercury also ruler of Gemini. There's a lot of air. There's all your air. Uranus. Uranus was busy last week. It left Taurus temporarily and entered Aries. So that's happening too. So try again. And eat cake in addition to the dirty movie. So the dirty movie can be, maybe like some FaceTime or Skype or something. Or maybe even a movie date. Or online dating, because I'm hearing like date. That could come up. It's telling me to try again. Spirit says yes. So that's the one that was staring me in the face in the first place. I should have just gone with it. I'm going to begin with the perspective of the masculine and worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. As I was shuffling, I saw separation quite a few times, but always opposite something like worth waiting for. It was opposite this once. It was opposite new love once. I don't remember what the other was, but they all gave me a feeling of people having been in separation, coming out. So like coming out of separation to new love, like starting again, maybe because like, for example, the Venus retrograde is over. So now that relationship is sprouting, or we're going to make it official. Whereas it wasn't, necessarily okay to make it a good idea to make it official when Venus was, appearing to be backward. Perhaps longer than that. Somebody's been in separation, and that's why it's really worth waiting for. Like, I know you've been through a struggle, a time, but today is your day, and you're not going to be sorry. Worth waiting for. So all of the cards gave me that I saw opposite the separation, gave me that kind of feeling, like it was not a separation that you should expect now. Up into this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. By the way, I was starting this relationship. Okay, I'm starting a relationship. I'm starting this reading at 8:08 p.m. on Saturday night. 8 double eights also come up in the general reading. On the feminine side in particular. The 8 of fire and the 8 of swords together. So that may be why I started working on the reading at the same time at 8:08. Worth waiting for. And flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. Worth waiting for. I'll do one more. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. We don't have any cards on the table yet. There's no red flags to look at, but right away what popped into my mind was the Mars. Right? That's a big red flag, the red planet. So again, Mars in Pisces. Jupiter, Sagittarius, very, very active right now. Jupiter entered Sagittarius, which it rules, last week, or this week, the week at which I'm doing the reading. So this is for next week. What else was going on with Jupiter? There was a lot with Jupiter last week, actually, or this week rather, again. I don't feel any other red flags. I like Aries. I was like seeing a lion in my head, but I'm like, but what's going on? Why would they want me to mention Leo? What's going on with Leo? Nothing that I can think of. But as I was doing that, I was like, oh yeah, Aries. So Uranus entered Aries this week, and something else was going on with Aries. I don't recall what. But Aries is something. Oh, and Aries comes up quite a bit in the general reading as well. All right, I'll do one more of these. It is calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Calling in your soulmate. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So there will be communication this week again. The air signs and their rulers very active this week. But with Mercury retrograde, we may want to, think about what it is we're saying before we say it. Not in a way that like you're fake and you're not saying what you mean and meaning what you say. Definitely not like that. But we could blurt stuff out that we don't mean, is what I'm trying to say. So you may want to be mindful of that. Overall energy is getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Divine Feminine. The masculine as it relates to the feminine this week. Himself. And the union as a whole. Overall, what the masculine would have the feminine do toward the union, do, contribute, surrender, what he himself is willing to. What the universe will have the two do, they will have to, affirm and commit to do it. And the universe will provide full support and the outcome. Divine Feminine. Ooh, engagement. I went to the jeweler today. The other day, I thought I was driving and I felt like I was, being stifled by my seatbelt. And I tugged on what I thought was my seatbelt and I pulled my own necklace off. So I went to the jeweler today to drop it off to have it soldered. And when I walked in, she was looking at and trying on herself this pear-shaped 5-carat pink diamond surrounded by other fully faceted white diamonds. Like a white gold, maybe platinum setting. Because the ring was over $100,000. She's like, try this on. It was an engagement ring. So this is funny for me. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment, feminine. Masculine as it relates to the feminine this week. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. And I'm thinking that this is like where there's fear attached because there's been a miscommunication. Maybe there's been separation. Maybe there's a need for forgiveness or to seek forgiveness and, worrying about how that's going to go. So the masculine guided to stay optimistic. And we have the card, that is for the feminine from him, facing her card. So no backs turned or anything. This is progress. Stay optimistic. The masculine as it relates to himself in love this week, separation. So this is what is on his mind. This is exactly what I was saying, like where he's been like that it's like, how do I come out? How do I approach? What do I need to do? Separation, time apart from your partners on the horizon. No, it's not. This is, you had it already. And so he's trying to work through this and work his way out of it. I feel like a good bit will do this rather quickly. They're going to get some sort of boost or something. Maybe because our love life is ascending to a high level of commitment, they're going to get like some sort of ascension boost. Maybe because of the 11, because that just, I don't know. I don't know. Because 11, I see all kind of stuff all over the place. It means this, it means that, and it's like all bullshit. And it kind of pisses me off, to be honest. Multiple ones are about our thoughts and words and manifestation as they relate to manifestation. It is a call, it is an alert. So it is like, you could say awakening code, because it's like the universe going, hey, you, watch your thoughts. Watch the words you speak over yourself, because you're manifesting right now. And your thoughts become your reality. The words you speak over yourself become your reality. That's what 11 means. It doesn't mean all this other bullshit that we see all over the place. So like I said, tomorrow's date, 11 equals 6. 6 equals love, justice, equity, fair division. Could be about material things too, but especially as we're talking about the love reading, that's what 6 is about. 6 made up of 3 2s, as it were. 2s are about partnership. 2s are about relationship. 2s are about faith. So maybe movement, specifically in love tomorrow, like a burst, a shift, as it were, connected to this separation and this ascension. The masculine as it relates to the union as a whole. Boom! I knew it. I felt it. Yes, I felt it. Yes, this is your soulmate. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Overall, this is what's been going on. Codependency. And you see it sitting here atop the stay optimistic and stay atop the separation. This is what's been keeping him back. And if you watch the general, you saw I talked about codependency. I was feeling toxicity. I was feeling, in some cases, even like addiction and stuff, and coming out of that. I even said that somebody may have been in like rehab or something. And they're like back now. You know, if it's not about leaving a toxic relationship or situation, living condition or something, you watch the general. So then it'll help, this to make even more sense than it already should. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. So that doesn't mean necessarily substance abuse, although it can. It can. It's anything toxic. It's any time you have been codependent upon another, or there is another or others codependent upon you, that is causing blockage in your love life. What the masculine would have the feminine do toward the union this week as it relates to love. Boom! Wedding sitting under engagement. This is like recognition of the sacred marriage and the connection between you, even where there's been separation. And for you to stay optimistic too, and, keep your thoughts positive, because that's going to help him to come forward in the in consideration of the true meaning of 11, which again is your thoughts become your reality. So keep them positive, because if they're negative, that becomes your reality too. Engagement, wedding, optimistic, soulmate. With the masculine himself willing to do this week as it relates to love and the union, it's safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So this, we also see this theme of giving and receiving, we also see come up in the general reading. And it's crossing here the separation, which again is next to the stay optimistic. I was just saying, I felt that he was fearing. That's why he has to be optimistic, because he is afraid. How do I come back? How do I, correct this situation? The universe saying, it is safe for you to, make your return, or you know, to express yourself and to fully engage here in this. What the universe would have the two do, and it will absolutely support them in fully if they first affirm, helping them to rid themselves of any, again, toxic situations. This is sitting here next to the codependency. Any imbalance too, including chemical imbalance and literal addiction. For those of us that need help out of a situation like that. If you affirm to do it and ask the universe for support, for help, I really want to quit smoking this time. I know I've said it before. I really, really want to this time. And I can't do it without your help. Universe, God, whatever. Higher self, whatever. I am fully committed, but I know I'm not perfect, and I'm, you know, not likely to succeed without your support. Please help me. And there it is. Because unrequited love comes up for me, not only literally as unrequited love in a relationship that you don't belong in, but it comes up for me as imbalance, a sign of, you know, somebody being not, somebody or a union not being in balance. It is also crossing the separation card, though, so I think an additional meaning, especially sitting here next to the codependency, is other like toxic relationships that people will walk away from. And the outcome, trust. Trust sitting under optimism makes perfect sense. This situation is calling for you to have faith. So I just talked about what faith was. 2. It's calling for you to have 2. Faith. Belief that it really can work out this way, the way that I just described. From the universe, going to the hashtag creepy deck, beginning with that same communication. We started with express your love, right? In the other deck, communication again. Opening to twin flame. Boom. Twin flame also came up in the general, in a different deck. Communication and control, manipulation, fear, ego, pride, Capricorn energy, Saturn, restriction, the devil, codependency, toxicity. Oh, maybe some bullshit third party, a love triangle. Right, that's the other relationship, the potential unrequited love, control. Another party of 3, a more positive one, children. This could be a new beginning, very Empress-like. For some, they're actual children. Not the children themselves a block, but the relationship maybe with the children's other parent has caused some sort of obstacle or a perceived obstacle. And then again, our thoughts become our reality. So you perceive that there's an obstacle in front of you, then there's an obstacle in front of you. Control. One more. It's another 3. 3 parties of 3 in a row. This one also a more positive one, family. But it too opposite the control. So this could be siblings, parents, children, again, including adult children maybe getting in the way or throwing in their opinions, close friends even that are like family, butting in, control. And blonde female. This is my representation of the divine feminine in this deck. So happy to see her. Overall energy is Ice Queen, but isn't it really just all about her this week? Venus. This also could be Mercury energy. Could be Gemini, ruled by Mercury. Could be an Aquarius. Again, we have Aquarius's ruler, Uranus, having entered Aries, a fire sign. We got this cat here, sort of representative of fire signs. Yeah. Divine couple or being. Recent past. The masculine's higher self. The near future. Blocks what the feminine can do, what the masculine can do. Further advice from the universe and the outcome. Divine couple. True gem. So more of this, again, Gemini, Mercurian energy, Venus energy, connected, I'm sure, to Venus facing direct this week, and Mercury going retrograde. Also, of course, there could be, this could be connected to that energy of engagement and wedding too, right? A pink diamond, just like I tried on today. And of course, maybe involving air signs and more specifically a Gemini. Recent past, dark male. This is my representation of the divine masculine in this deck. This could be representative of his awakening, his having had a new, coming into some sort of new revelations, his return in some cases, other activity in his life, movement on from, the situations that we just looked at and talked about a second ago too in the last spread. Near future. Boom! Just like the other spread. You saw me deal these. The other one was soulmate. This one is twin flame. This is what's going on right now. That energy of engagement and wedding. Sacred marriage, sacred union. Masculine recently having sort of reawakened to that concept, idea, and wanting to commit to it. His higher self, other than that, worry. This is the fear. This is the where he was just told to stay optimistic because he was afraid of the different things, the need to seek forgiveness, to drop pride, ego. That's the obstacle. Other blocks, karma, karmic situations, the codependency, toxicity, other relationships, other circumstances, some of which are, again, just manifestations of our own conception. It's something that we thought up, attached to a fear. What can the feminine do, though? Because we can't just stay like this, right? What can she do toward the situation? Courting man. She may want to be the one to reach out. Or if she receives contact, or when she receives contact, be receptive. Don't be like, oh, so now you're calling. Haven't heard from you in a long time. Like no attitude, whatever. Remember from the first deck, the flirt and the being lighthearted. It's sort of like a mutable sign, like a Gemini or a Pisces, Sagittarius, Virgo. Very lighthearted. What about the masculine? What can he do? Mature woman. This can be him, again, making the approach. This can be him and also his own energy, like taking on some of his feminine energy to help that with the balance and, how to approach. How would he want to be approached? I think it's interesting how on the feminine's side, there is this male or the masculine card. And on the masculine side, there is this female or feminine card with the twin flame in the middle. And they're all facing, right? They're facing each other. With the dark male or the image of the divine masculine facing forward above the twin flame. What will the universe have the two do? And it will support them in, they have to affirm. This is like backing away from, again, like the unrequited love, the others in your life that are, not supportive, the relationships you have to leave, the circumstances you have to leave, the drama, in some cases, actual gossip, literal gossip. It's going to help you get away from that. And then the outcome, boom, true love. I'm going to keep going. We're on a roll. This deck, I'm beginning with fire energy. More Mars, more Jupiter, physical body. Maybe a need to work on solar plexus and sacral chakra, and or, you know, exercise overall well-being outside and in preparation for a new phase, a new beginning, entering the gateway. This card, of course, also speaks to me of fire energies: Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Mars, Jupiter. Opening to reflection, looking back, looking around, looking forward. What are our goals? What are our dreams? Do we have what we need to accomplish them? We need to go back for anything? We need to drop anything right now where we stand before we go a step further? And opening to spiritual growth. Air sign energy, fire energy. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Spiritual growth. And there's the fear. So hopefully this week, more growth beyond this. Now, we've seen evidence that that is going to definitely be the case for some. Well, let's pray for as many as possible. Here's some Pisces energy coming through as well, right? With the moon behind this angel, this red-winged angel here. This can definitely be a depiction of Mars in Pisces. Spiritual growth, and back to reflection. On that note, I will cut after this reflection. I have a bunch of client readings going up after this too. For anybody that's waiting, I want you to be aware of that. I don't know why it just popped into my head randomly there, but I'm a Gemini, so that's what happens. Random shit. Anyway, coming to message from afar. So again, fire energy. Messages could be between people, long distance, could be part of the communication that is brought on. We have air and fire coming together, communication. Mercury, retrograde in Sagittarius, fire. Jupiter, right, rules Sagittarius. This could be Mars, guiding people to take action. Maybe specifically as it relates to love, emotion, or higher love. Pisces and Neptune rule higher love, unconditional love. You know, it could be 3D communication, it could be telepathic, dreams, talking to each other without words, right? Non-verbal communication. Overall energy is retreat, which came up quite a bit, particularly for the masculine in the general reading. Could definitely be representative again of Venus, ruler of both air and earth. Libra, Gemini, Taurus. Could be Mercury, ruler of Gemini and Virgo. More important than being representative of air or earth signs, though, it is about the need to connect with mother, and to where we're able to do that outside. Or if you can't, do it outside, you don't live in an area that's conducive to you spending any time with nature, bringing nature to you. Plants, even sounds, right? Listening to sounds like of waves or trees rustling, or I like to listen to like logs burning, fire sometimes, all kinds of stuff. That meditating outside could be like this, does not have to. Nobody necessarily expects you to sit down, quote unquote Indian style with your hands in a prayer pose outside. Although you can if you're into that. Sure, you should. But this could be walking, sitting on a bench, jogging, Whatever it is you enjoy doing while you're outside. If you're connecting with Mother Nature, that is your meditation. You're still enough to hear the messages from afar, that is your meditation. Crowning the masculine this week, golden memories. So there's some stuff masculine that you, like how I talked about with the reflection card, and I said, you know, is there anything I need in order before I can go forward, or anything that I need to drop right now? Or that's what you got to do. You got to do some reflection, and make sure that you're only taking golden memories, right? The lessons learned and the fond thoughts of your past experiences with you, and dropping anything that is holding you back, that is restricted, that is attached to that fear that keeps showing up for you this week, that is attached to that ego, that pride, resentment, regret, the inability to forgive or to ask for forgiveness, negative cords of attachment to one another or to other people that have to be cut before you can move forward. All of that stuff. That's what you are to work on, masculine. And again, it can be attached to fire energy. You may be a fire sign yourself. This could be your energy. This could be Mars, right? Ruler of men. Men are from Mars. Women are from Venus. That could be Mars, making you the planet of action, driving you to take action. Or, maybe the person or a person with whom you have golden memories, but you no longer need to have anything else. They should be cut off from anything else. Queen of Air style. Maybe they're a fire sign. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Masculine surrounded by air and water. But balance. So I've talked about imbalance already, having come up here. This card, although it looks like something of air and water, it feels in my hand very much like temperance, which in the tarot represents the sign of Sagittarius. Again, that is where Mercury is. So that explains that air. But this can be about air and water signs, involving those, and or a Sagittarius perhaps, but more importantly is about balance. And balance, maybe particularly in the areas of like throat chakra, crown chakra, and third eye chakra. You may need to work on those specifically. Like they might be out of whack, out of sorts, out of balance, and something on which you want to work. Also, as depicted, there is a male, presumably the masculine. He's in pain, or he appears to be in pain, and we have him being supported and consoled by the feminine. So that is a message also of what may need to happen this week. Maybe making him feel comfortable enough to say what it is he has to say. Because you see these spheres, there's one on each of like the communication centers, very strategically placed, right? There's one here in the throat chakra, one here in the third eye chakra. Can't really see the one on his crown very much because there's other stuff going on here. But the fear, the pain in his eyes, maybe because he has something to say, and making him feel as if there's like a safe space to say those things, albeit possibly hurtful in some cases, so that we can actually work through them, right? Because we can't even address them and work through them until they're on the table. And that may be the Mercury energy too, that's forcing that to happen. Masculine's subconscious is spiritual growth. So after moving through these things, And along the same theme again, the air and the fire, more of that, dealing with these leads to spiritual growth or culminates in spiritual growth. Ascension. Crowning the feminine. Transient. So us two going through some sort of healing, and it's head to toe. Could be connected to the physical body card that we started with also. It's another naked female. So surrender is implied, you know, and the need to go into full surrender, to just let go and allow for healing is definitely implied. Her eyes are closed, her head's turned, tilted. She is nude. You know, this, when you're like this, you can't be, there's like no way to be more vulnerable than this. This is just allowing. This is not her trying to control anything. So feminine, that's our guidance as well. We are surrounded by healing sounds. This is super Piscean, right? She's sitting in water. She's sitting in water, holding something over her vagina, basically. So there could be a need for sacral chakra healing here, maybe through a bath, a healing or cleansing spiritual bath, some sea salt, some essential oil, and you. This is meditation. This is taking time for yourself. This is nurturing, but also listening to the healing. That's a place where you can listen to the healing sounds too. Maybe, you know, alone in the bathtub, some candles burning. But other places too, when you go to bed, binaural tones, if you're unable to listen to them as you do your work throughout the day, whatever it is you have to do, you can put them on when you're going to sleep even, and they still work. Feminine subconscious. Physical body. Didn't I say that I feel like this goes with the physical body? Well, it does. Boom. So again, yes, sacral chakra, solar plexus also, and fire sign energy propelling this, it would seem, and perhaps impactful upon you as an individual this week, as well as water. This is very Mars in Pisces. It's like this plus this equals this. Crowning the union, listening, and more of this communication. So when messages from afar come, we can receive them. Again, more surrender, more feminine energy of surrender, more, nude, bare before the universe, connected, vulnerable, in tune. We have the star here. So this is Uranus. Again, in Aries, which is an action sign also. So a conscious decision we're not listening by accident. You know, we're taking initiative to be still and to pay attention to the universe. This is also communication between the two. And the sign of Aquarius means that also, in the tarot, or the star rather, means that also, communication. And is also about prayers being answered. So that's messages from the universe too, to listen to and to look out for, signs, synchronicities, prayers being answered, wishes being granted, dreams coming true. Very Piscean, right? Dreams, fantasies, goals. At the root, emergence. So all of that, again, giving way for more ascension. It's sitting here for the masculine next to the spiritual growth, and for the feminine next to the physical body. So it's also about our humanity, our humanness as individuals, and, you know, inside and out, development, growth, healing that leads to this. It's sort of like transmutation. And every time I look at this card, first of all, there's more yellow, so it's like more solar plexus coming out here too. But because where there's light, there is dark. And this card is so light, it's so yellow and white and purple, that obviously the dark must be from where she emerged. So it's like we had been sleeping and we're awake now. Here is the ascension, or we're back. We had, something had been dead, it is risen. probably because of all the Scorpio energy we experienced last week or earlier in the week with the new moon. And at the heart of the matter, boom, more of this meditation, peace, clarity. She definitely looks like she's receiving messages. And it's sitting here. Look where it's sitting here. Underneath the listening, next to the balance, next to the healing sounds, crossing the transients, crossing the golden memories, and above the emergence. Crossing the spiritual growth and crossing the physical body. This whole thing is about coming back to oneness, being restored, and in effect resurrected. I'm going to further clarify still though. Beginning with the page of air, some more of this Gemini energy perhaps, or Mercury or Venus. Logical, honest, impulsive, and curious. Challenging information. So I said something may have to be said, and it might be difficult to say, but it has to come out, right? Challenging information, delays or changes to plans, which is typical of Mercury retrograde, and perhaps the truth delivered without tact, which, yes, is also common for Geminis and or Mercurian energy. And opening to the other sign that Mercury rules, the Hermit, major arcana card number 9, which represents the sign of Virgo. Spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, and self-discovery. So you are both the teacher and the student. Hermit. And ego with Archangel Jophiel, major arcana card number 15 equals 6. More of that 6. A false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things and negative or fear-based thoughts. We know that that is to what it is connected for us, and why maybe some of us need to go within, because we've been dealing with this fear, ego, pride, and we only want to take the positive memories. We don't want to take any of that stuff with us moving forward. Here come the sirens. Hermit. And the Queen of Water, tenderhearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. Relationships develop to a new level, right? They are growing. They are emerging. They are rising. They are ascending. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. There's the nurturing. Hermit. And speaking of Pisces and Neptune, it is major arcana card number 12, which equals 3, may have something to do with a party of 3. Awakening in this deck, but it's the hangman in the traditional tarot. Look at things from a different perspective. You're at a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself in that time. So like being honest with yourself, maybe that's why you have to go within again and be the hermit, so that you really know what you want, what you need, what you desire, what your goals are, what your fears are, and what you have to address. Started with Mercury. I think we're back. The Knight of Air, intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless. Events that occur with great speed. Take time to carefully review your options. You can come up with creative solutions. The Knight of Air is Mercury himself, perhaps, or Venus herself, right? Women can be knights too. Or a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. They are intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless. When the Knight of Air shows up, there's often a decision that needs to be made, or that we're awaiting, like we're awaiting a decision, an answer from somebody. And when it finally comes, like it ignites something happens very quickly afterward. Like, okay, got it. And then we run. It's kind of like being passed the baton in a race, in a relay. You know, so like you're standing there doing nothing and you're waiting, and then the person comes and they hand you the baton, and then whoop, like as soon as you get it, that's like how this is. Wow. The overall energy is the King of Air. Brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice and balance mental and emotional considerations. There's that balance again, or the need for it again. And to speak, right, confidently. Crowning the masculine atop golden memories. It's fire. Fire on fire. It is major arcana card 11. How nice is that? Equals 2, right? Partnership, faith. It's sitting here atop the golden memories. Strength represents the sign of Leo. I told you I was seeing a line in my head before and I didn't know why, because I'm like, oh, I'm not sure where Leo fits into this. Great inner strength. Release harsh judgments. Instead, exercise some forgiveness and compassion. So this is right on, because this is what I was talking about with this card. It is the harsh judgments. It is the negative emotions, the resentment, the regret, the fear, the ego, the pride. Release that and replace them with forgiveness and compassion is what this is saying. Again, it may involve an actual fire sign, a Leo more specifically, perhaps. Sitting here atop balance, which I said was temperance-like for me, is the Star, which is another card of immense healing and is air and water, right? This is an air sign. It is Aquarius that the Star represents. It's another 8. 17 equals 8. I talked about 8s already as it relates to this reading. Happy times make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. You are on the right path. The Star can be a card that indicates the universe is sending you healing, right? It's part of that restoration that I was talking about. But it's also, again, prayers being answered, wishes being granted, dreams coming true. And it is also communication. But on top of that, the Aquarian is the water bearer. So it is together, just like this. And for me, the Temperance card represents the sign of Aquarius. Like I said in the tarot, it represents the sign of Sagittarius. But almost every deck, pick up a tarot deck, especially the Rider-Waite. There was an angel on that card standing in a pool of water, similar to this, right? With the water vessels spilling water out. That's a water bearer. Why is that on the Temperance card? You know what I mean? So yeah, it's Aquarius to me. Anywho, I like where this is going. Atop spiritual growth, and this fire energy is more fire energy. The king of fire, no less. Motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Take advice from someone creative. So this is action in this area, maybe where we were, again, asleep before. Now we're awakened, we're pushed. This is Mars coming through to the masculine, who, he rules, and saying it's time to, step this up a notch. And maybe particularly in the areas of love and emotion and higher love with his move into Pisces. It's also about leadership again. And the King of Fire is the representation of the divine masculine himself in the tarot. Once again, specifically, perhaps fire signs involved and or impacted Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Crowning the feminine atop transience and this need for healing is another 8. It's the 8 of fire. Events moving at a fast pace. Delays are over and many things are happening at once. So maybe where you felt your progress was stifled, right? Your gifts weren't coming through. You had some sort of blockages or something. All of a sudden that being unplugged. And this looks kind of like the 8 of Wands, right? If you think about, picture the 8 of Wands, or Google it if you don't know what it looks like. And like in the Rider-Waite tarot, again, for example, it's a bunch of rods coming at somebody. And that's what this looks like, which is what this is, the 8 of Wands. This is also about communication too. And in addition to things going on behind the scenes. And karmic energy. That's like the universe stepping in to help you out with something. Atop the healing sounds, the 10 of fire, too much work, accept help from others. Life is out of balance. We have this mirroring the masculine's balance card. Life is out of balance. And that can create stress-related health concerns. You know what helps with stress-related health concerns? A bath, a spiritual bath, right? Calgon, take me away. So again, I think the feminine might be helped with that. Atop this physical body, so more nude female. The 7 of air, plans that need revision, more going on than meets the eye, and poor timing. I had laid this card upside down atop this, and there's no reversals in this deck, but sometimes the Seven of Air like that can be about a return of somebody, you know, to your life. So that could be one meaning, but also I think this is about our confidence and our feelings about ourselves, our own esteem and self-worth in connection to this physical body, feminine. And so it's more of what we were going to already work on toward our own personal healing and strengthening. Atop listening, the Queen of Earth, thoughtful, creative, warm and sensible. This is also another like vibration, potentially of Venus, and can be, addition to that, a Taurus, ruled by Venus, Virgo, ruled by Mercury, or a Capricorn. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach and deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. Atop that emergence card at the root, sitting next to the Seven of Air, is the Eight of Air. An illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence and being afraid to take action. So I just talked about the lack of self-confidence as related to the feminine with the Seven of Air. Here is more of it. And it may be, yeah, connected to fear also, this fear of this reawakening, of this growth, and like what the next steps are. What happens to me next, right? So the need to work on that, but this is what all the healing is for. Also, you have to, I'm being made to think about the ones. We have an 8 crossing an 8 too, just by the way, that was just shown to me, or, you know, pointed out. So there's the 2 8s again together, but we need to think about those ones, all those ones in that supposed activation code this week again, and our power to relieve ourselves, to free ourselves from this kind of energy just with our thoughts, without even taking any further action. Just with our thoughts and the words we speak over ourselves, our intentions, we can free ourselves from this. Like, free your mind and the rest will follow. You ever heard that saying? At the heart of the matter, a top meditation, boom, it is awakening. The Hangman again. Look at things from a different perspective. That's the point of a lot of this meditation. Clarity, a broader perspective. You're at a temporary standstill so that you can do just that. And it is important to be yourself in that time. You have to be honest with you about your lack of confidence in that moment, about your fear. How are you going to address it and heal it if not? You got to also be reminded of your strength, that's something you can use, and your faith, what you've asked for, your dreams, your wishes, your goals, and how they are manifesting before you. And let that be something that helps to keep you otherwise positive. I'm also still on these angel therapy cards. And for them, I'm going to begin with be willing to forgive for the advice. Ask the angels to clear your mind and your body of past pain in exchange for peacefulness. Doesn't this look like asking for your mind and body to be cleared of pain? You are a powerful light worker. It's safe for you to be powerful. Your spiritual power brings you great blessings in loving service to the divine. Light worker, and visualize success. See yourself doing well in this situation, right? That's how you shake off the fear. I just said our own mind and thoughts about ourselves can change this. That's what this is saying too. See yourself doing well in the situation and have faith in the positive outcome. The end. Light worker. And ascended masters. Powerful, loving, and wise spiritual teachers are watching over you and guiding you. Ascended masters. Archangel Raphael, the healing angel, is with you, supporting your healing work. He is. And I put out my green candles today because I was feeling him more than, I guess it's typical. I was feeling him. So I said, oh, green candles, Raphael, at the table. Further advice from the angel therapy cards to the masculine. Vacuum away fear. Is this not the perfect card for the masculine this week, or what? With this fear. Call upon Archangels Michael and Raphael to lift fear-based energy from you and your surroundings in this situation and everyone involved. I love that for you. For us, feminine, boom, we got this in the general too from this deck, Twin Flame. The answer to your question involves a spiritually based romantic relationship. From the romance angels to the masculine, what did I say? Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. And feminine for us, religious factors. This could be attached to that engagement and the wedding too, right? That the sanctity, the sacredness of the union. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. From the hashtag creepy deck to the masculine, a nice Two of Cups under this moon, surrendering to the energy of the Two of Cups, right? To forgiveness, to compassion, to love, to partnership, to reunion, dating even. Feminine for us, work, effort, right? Trying. Remember, try again with the dice. Not being uptight. This can be connected to also, for me, Capricorn, Saturn. So be mindful of that, like the restrictive energy, and work your way through it if you have to. From the Universal Love Oracle to the masculine, embrace, which is another card of balance. It looks like a couple in a very tight and loving hug, right? Getting all close to one another, which that can be a meaning that we take away from it. But it's really in this deck, one person's inner masculine and feminine coming together in a harmonious way. It is very temperance-like and more Sagittarius energy. And feminine for us, abundance, more Venus, right? More need to spend time with Mother Nature in order to open up the flow and to connect, maybe meditation. Could be connected to earth signs too, as can this work card, as I said, Capricorn, specifically for me with this, but it could be, Virgo, Taurus also, and this can too, and anything that Venus rules also. So Libra and Gemini as well. And speaking of Libra and Gemini, for the masculine, your last card, some of you have got something to say and you're going to have to just spit it out. It's another 11 or 2 for partnership, the Ace of Air, or 1, depending upon how you want to look at it. Manifestation, a new start, brilliant new ideas and inspirations, seeing the truth of a situation and a challenging beginning. You know why it's a challenging beginning? To me, that's not important, that they, it's a beginning nonetheless, and that's what's important. But they say a challenging beginning is when the Ace of Air shows up. It means like you had to overcome some difficulties in order to get here to this new start, and that there may be a few more bumps in the road. I say you can handle it. And lastly, feminine for us, boom. It is Major Arcana card, the Sun. All's well that ends well. That is what's important. Happy outcome. Brilliant new ideas that lead to success if we have confidence in ourselves. So if we shake this off, all will be well. Major Arcana card number 19, the Sun, represents the sign of Sagittarius, or perhaps other fire sign in the tarot. And Earth's star, the Sun, rules the sign of Leo. So there's your fire energy on which to close. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the love reading. I'll be back. Like I said, I got a bunch of client readings that I need to post, and I think I'm going to share some. Because again, it is an awesome time, optimum time for you to get your own, if you've been wanting one and needing one, while the veil remains thin, and we remain in this period and time of good over evil, light over dark. There are still people all over the world celebrating this, as well as the dead and our ancestors. Those are the light, at least as far as I'm concerned. When I call on ancestors, I always make sure I specify the light ones. I know not everybody was a good person, even if they were related to me or, preceded me here. If you like the video, please actually like the video. If you're not yet a subscriber, please do subscribe, and also hit the notification bell so that you can get messages of when I upload a new video and when I'm premiering one, so that you can join me live for chat, because we have so much fun. Also, anybody needing, or just interested in to see what the hell we're doing and talking about, support as it relates to oneness, wholeness, health overall, mind, body, spirit, finances, please do join us on Facebook in our closed Facebook group, Divine Oneness. And if you just want to talk about issues that only people on this journey and path would understand, we can do that in Divine Oneness too. Please share whatever you like. And like I said, it's a closed group, so it'll be private unto us. But on Divine Girl Talk in quotes, on Facebook, you can submit something to myself or Yvonne anonymously, and we'll post it for you. Or you can post your questions or comments and have other people on the journey, to help you out with some advice and support and just love and light. All right. Namaste, guys.
So